Alright, so today for the assignment that I'm doing for the food, I'm making Kibbeh Nayyeh. All we need is raw meat, salt, some pepper, some bulgur, and kaimune, which is basically the mix of all the spices, some olive oil, white onions, and for the white onions, it's pretty much optional to put it in, but for today I want to try to put it in and see what my family thinks about it. But yeah, so let's start. So first, we're gonna put some of the bulgur first, and then we're gonna spread it around around the plate. So let me just try to mix it in or spread it around with my hands. And then next up, we're gonna put in the kaimune. We're gonna put at least a cup of it. And then we're gonna let all the spices mix, but before we do that, we're gonna add at least a little bit of pinch of salt to spread it around, as well as some black pepper. Originally in the recipe it said white pepper, but I couldn't find it anywhere. I also would like to mention that if you wanna find any meat, raw meat like this, or if you wanna make Kibbeh Nayyeh at home, go to Al Salam's meat market or some other Arab areas. Definitely better to get it from there because they clean it more properly than if you go to any other areas like Kroger or Walmart. I got the rest of these ingredients here from there. It's just the raw meat was the only thing I had to find from there pretty much. Now, after we put in all the spices, I should at least add a little bit more of salt just in case. And then we're gonna mix it in with the spoon. So we're gonna mix it in, let all the spices blend in together. Basically like pretty much a fusion. And then after we finish it, we're gonna put in the meat. But also, before I do that, because I keep forgetting about that, we're gonna put in the olive oil. I'm gonna put in a little bit because sometimes, mostly in my family, we usually put in olive oil after. Like sometimes after we finish making it, my mom usually puts in a lot of olive oil after. So that's probably one of the main reasons too. You should do it, but what I'd recommend, probably just do it separately after, because I don't like a lot of oil in it. But since we're done, I think all the spices have mixed up. I can see the bit of the bulgur in with the kaimune. Pretty much it's just basically the mix of all the spices. And next we're gonna put in a portion of the kibbeh. Note that it was already pre-seasoned ahead of time, but I like adding a little bit more spice to it because I don't get enough of the kick of the flavor, and I feels like you should add more. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I like adding more flavor into it. Very strong kick as well. And I'm gonna probably take a little bit more because I know some of my family wants to eat some, especially my mom and dad, probably in the morning. Father's Day is coming up, so they enjoy it. So we're gonna mix it in with the spoon, but if it doesn't work and you're not good with that, we're gonna use our hands, because if you guys don't want to get dirty in with it, you could ask someone else, because I know some people just don't want to do the mixing like that. Some people do it with their hands bare, but I'm doing it with gloves in case anyone in my family gets sick, because this is probably going to be like the one time they try my Kibbeh Nayyeh, and I don't want to mess this up. So yeah, but overall it's not about the mistakes, it's about how hard you try, and as long as you get it right, I think with enough practice, you probably make something really good, like at least Kibbeh Nayyeh. Now, we're not done yet. So after I finish putting in all the spices, so I'm just trying to put them all in, let all the spices be put in, and then we're gonna keep mixing them. And it might not be good, but it's still worth to try to put all of them in. And then we'll get to see my family's reaction after. But before I do that, we're gonna put in the onions. I already chopped some before, but I wanted to see if people show like how to cut them. And what you have to do is cut them vertically And then you could cut them horizontally, make some more smaller, and they get more kicked into it. So start from vertical, then horizontal. You can hear the fireworks right now. And I feel, yeah, we'll probably just do this one too. It's pretty much like the end side, but it doesn't matter how much of the onions you put, as long as it just quantifies the amount similar to what you have. Plus, I like putting them in smaller bits so that they don't, like, it doesn't make it like too much. So yeah, and then after that, we're gonna put in the onions. Remember, this is optional to mix in the onions, as I mentioned before in the article. You can, however, do them separately. I have like a plate set for the other stuff. I would like actually trying to do with tomatoes as well, because I know there's like another dish that you can use to mix it in that like involves tomatoes, and it's like very cold. But yeah, we just gotta get in all the onions. It's probably gonna be a little bit tricky. But yeah, I think all of them are getting in. And while this, some of the spices that you still haven't had out is still mixing in. And then let's try to get some of these other onions in. I just want all of them to stick and not have any fly off. But then again, no mistake. There's always going to be mistakes when you're making something the first attempt. That's why it takes like multiple amounts of times. But eventually, you get to perfect it. Alright, now this is the Kibbeh Nayyeh at first. Now I want to show something. I haven't pre-chopped these yet, but like I mentioned before, some of these you could use either jalapenos, cucumbers, tomatoes when you use it as a side. I actually wanted to try to put in jalapenos with it, but I feel like I needed to chop them, and I was scared that I was gonna like probably get some in my eye, and then I would have burning eye for an entire hour. But yeah, it cleared out the watermelon because my family was eating watermelon a little ago. You could also have parsley and celery, green onions. I mean, I should have done that one instead of regular onions, but overall, that's pretty much it.
Should try it.
Me? Yeah. All right. Alright, so now I'm gonna get something from the fridge. Let me just take off my gloves. And I'll let my sister try it too. Yeah, no, you're gonna try it. Now let's see if there's any, well, we don't have pita bread, but with being Arab, they run out of ways for people to get a little bit more healthier. So this is like whole wheat pita bread. So yeah, whole wheat's not my favorite, but still. Now, like I mentioned, you could also add olive oil as well, but like I said before, I won't recommend it, but you guys can try it yourself and see. Everyone has different views, like how I like pineapple on pizza. Yeah, overall, I think I did a good job. Now I'm going to let my sister try it.